Hello, this is Charles Tippy from the Ed Services Department, and this is part two of the tutorial where site coordinators will learn how to merge the data from the online reporting system with data from our student information system so we can do things like makeup testing, pull kids out of their third period class, and phone dialers home, and finish tracking our makeup. So first thing we're going to do, I'm going to review really quickly how to pull the data out of the ORS, and then we'll get started with the database merge. Keep in mind, this is a pretty detailed tutorial, and you have to follow everything step by step. And then in order to merge the data, we'll be using Microsoft Access, and you have to use a Windows-based machine to do that. So we'll go ahead and get started by pulling data out of the online reporting system. So I'm going to start by going to the SBAC Site Coordinator page. And then under Resources, we'll click on the SBAC portal. Click on Field Tests. And then we're going to click on the Online Reporting for California Users. Click on Plan and Manage Testing. And then we're going to select the tests that we want to identify for makeups. And we'll start off with ELA. Your school will automatically pop up right here. And then we're going to do the students on third button down. And then export the report. And then I'm going to open it up. Click on this Yes button. And then do File. Save as, and you have to go through the steps. We'll give it a name, ORS, and we're going to leave it as a Unicode text document and save it to the desktop. Click on yes, and then we can close it. You don't have to save it again. Just click on don't save and then close out of Excel. And then the next thing we're going to do, we're going to pull data out of EDEMS for our enrollments. And if you go into your saved reports, this tied enrollment verification should pop up on the front screen. If it doesn't, you can click over here under the saved all reports, and then type in, first you have to click on all reports, and then under the report name, just type in tied, apply, and you're good to go. If you're watching this from a district that doesn't have EDEMS, then that's okay. As long as you get the data in this format, you're good to go. And on this screen, we're going to select the period. So I'll do third period. If you want, you can, if you're at a school where you have multiple grades testing, you could select the multiple grades. I'll just do grade 11. And I'm going to choose the school that I'm working with. And then hit Generate Report. And then my report comes up. I'll click on Excel. I'm going to open up the spreadsheet, and you have to do this. Click on Yes. And then go to, before we do that, actually, we have to put the SSID in the format that SBAC requires it. So I'm going to use a formula to do that. And in column K2, I'm going to type in a capital C, capital A, and a dash. And then in column L, or cell L2, I'm going to do a formula, which is equals K2 ampersand, which is shift and the number 7. So ampersand J2. And that basically joins those two cells. I'm going to highlight both of them, right-click, copy. Click on the next cell down. I'm going to use this little bar thing here to drag all the way down. Go to my last cell, and then I'm going to hit the shift button on my keyboard, left click, and until it highlights like this, and then do a right click and paste. And now I have my SSIDs in the format that SBAC requires it. Keep in mind though, these are formulas, so what I do, I'm going to highlight the whole thing, do copy, put it over here, right click, paste special, values, and we're good to go. You have to delete these. Now, very important that your cells or your columns match exactly what's in the database, so it has to look exactly like this. So if you are using a different system, as long as you have these headers in this format, then it'll work for you. So at that point, I'm going to go to File, Save As, and I'll put this on the desktop, and I'm going to save it as an Excel workbook and give it the name enrollment and hit save. Okay, so now we can open up our database, and you can see over here on the left hand side there are different tables. A table is essentially what you're used to seeing in a spreadsheet, so just a table of information. And we're going to work off the number 2 reports right here. You have a 2A, 2B, and a 2C. These are used to verify that the information in TIDE matches your enrollment, and from what I've seen so far, we've done that in our district and everything matches pretty well. So we're going to focus on reports 2A through 2C, and what we're going to do now is import the data. So if you click on this, you can see right now there's no information in this table, and that's how we want it. We're going to be importing data pretty frequently, so what we'll do is we just update it every time we need to. So we'll go ahead and import the data, and we'll do that by clicking on external data. And the first file I'm going to bring in is a text file. That was the one from the ORS, and I'm going to click on text right here, find my file, and I put it on my desktop, and it's named ORS. So I'll go ahead and open that, and I'm going to click on the middle button right here to append the data into the table. So append means that you're taking the data and putting it into the table that you have set up in your database. And we're going to put this in the 2B database, so the one that says ORS test status, and then we'll click on OK, click on Next, and we have to click on this text qualifier. And then the first row contains the field names, next, and finish. And if I click right here, you can see that now the data is in the database. So this is what we extracted from the ORS, which is good information, but I also want some additional information on the kids so that we can pull them in for makeup testing. And the next thing we're going to do is pull that information in, and we're going to import an Excel file now. So this is the spreadsheet from EDMS. So I'll click on that, click on my desktop, and it's under enrollment. And I'm going to append that to the 2A table. Click on OK. I can ignore that little message. Click on Next, and then Finish and Close. And now I have the information from that table. And now I can click on this query, and you'll see here that it gives the student's first period or third period teacher, and that's dependent on whatever you chose in EDMS. So it has the third period teacher. It has also the test administrator. So this is in most cases the ELA teacher, has the status of the test. So this student, they finished 19 out of 27. Now know that when you go back into the ORS, let's say that you wanted to do math, you could just, instead of choosing ELA, you would choose math on that one. So now I have a list of my proctors. If I want to manipulate this data more, I can just click on this little button right here, right click, copy, and then put it into an Excel sheet, do right click, paste, and I always change it back to row height of 14. Makes it a little bit easier to read. And then at this point you can go up to data, you can filter, you can sort however you need it set up. So that would be the way that you set up your data for the one assessment. Let's say that you want to now go back and export data to figure out who needs math testing. So what we're going to do on that, we're going to clear out the information from the ORS, because now instead of looking at the ELA test, we're going to do math. So I'll highlight all this information, delete the record. And now I'm going to go back into the online reporting system, which is up here somewhere. And instead of doing ELA, I'm going to change this to high school math. And I will export the report. Once again, I have to open it up, ignore that little message, go to File, Save As, and I'll do math. Save it to my desktop. Click Yes, and then close it. We don't have to save it again. I have no idea why you have to do that, but maybe someone will show me someday. Go back into our database, and we're importing a text file. So click on the text button, click on Append, click on the 2B ORS test status, and first we have to find the file. So it's a math test. Click on Open, OK. Next, click on the text qualifier. First row contains field names. Click Next, and Finish. And now you can see the makeup testing query. The third period teacher, once again, is listed right here. And then you can see in this column, these are the students that need the math test, and it tells you what number they're on. I can put this into Excel now. And once again, now we can set up phone dialers if we wanted to. We can identify what third period class the teacher's in, and it makes it easier to track down the students and get them tested. So a lot of other information we can pull in. I'll probably add the case carrier to this database, and that'll be pulled directly out of SACE. If there's any other information that you need or think